This is the Green Darner Dragonfly. A tiny engine facing a 3,000-kilometer war. As the North freezes, nearly 1 million of them mobilize towards the Gulf of Mexico. To stay is to freeze. They must cross the continent to save the species. It is late September. The window is closing as the autumn leaves turn red. They lack the biology to hibernate. Their only warmth is movement. This is not a sprint. It is a grueling migration spanning weeks of relentless flight. A multi-generational relay. The parents fly south to die, so their grandchildren can return north. They are launching themselves into oblivion to ensure the bloodline survives the Ice Age. It begins invisibly. A ghost signal on the screens. On weather radars across the coast. Meteorologists witness a massive, inexplicable bloom erupting from the silence. It looks like a storm system, but it is biology. The Green Legion has declared total war on the winter, mobilizing an army of millions in a single synchronized breath. They're abandoning the fading, ice-rimmed ponds of Canada for a tropical century they have never seen, guided solely by an ancient genetic map imprinted on their nervous system. The sun hangs low over the coastline, painting the marshlands in deep amber and burnt orange. It is a picture of absolute serenity before the desperate struggle begins. But the air is vibrating with kinetic energy. The sky is filled with a glint of glistening wings, catching the dying light like shards of moving glass, turning the horizon into a shimmering mosaic of life. This is not a chaotic escape of panicked refugees. It is a synchronized invasion of the South, calculated with the precision of a military operation waiting for the perfect win. They hit the Gulf of Mexico, leaving the safety of land behind. This is the kill zone, a vast graveyard where the water waits for the smallest mistake. 900 miles of open water. No trees. No rest. If the engine stops even for a second, they drown in the endless blue. Their bodies are loaded with lipids, high-density fat reserves critical for the flight muscles. This internal fuel must power their wings for days without a single refuel. Below them, the ocean is a beautiful, terrifying expanse of endless indigo. The white caps look soft from this height, but they are cold graves for the weak who run out of energy. To cross this liquid abyss, they must fly at 140 kilometers per day, pushing their biological limits to the breaking point. Physics is the enemy. Drag friction is stealing their fuel with every meter, bleeding their energy reserves dry against the heavy salt air. A single dragon cannot make this journey alone. The metabolic cost is simply too high. The tank will run dry before they ever see the shore. The sun sets completely, plunging the world into darkness. The moon rises, casting a silver path over the black ocean. They're flying blind, guided only by the invisible pull of the Earth's magnetic field. This is where they swarm. It is not for company, it is for aerodynamics. They are hacking the atmosphere to survive the impossible distance. The lead flyers break the air resistance, slicing through the wind and creating a tunnel of low pressure trailing behind them. The followers surf on the invisible wake of the leaders. They are drafting death, stealing energy from the turbulence to keep their hearts beating. By locking their wings in phase, the swarm reduces collective drag by 25%. They stop functioning as individuals and begin to operate as a system. They become a super-organism. One massive distributed engine stretching across the latitude, pulsing with a singular will to survive. Through the lens of a thermal camera, they are a river of gold heat flowing through the cold night air. A burning artery of life piercing the void of the ocean. Years later, the coastline of Mexico appears on the horizon. The survivors are ragged, their vibrant colors faded to dull gray. Their lipid tanks completely empty. They descend upon the wetlands like fallen leaves. Their wings tattered but unbroken. They have conquered the continent against all odds. The sunrise over the tropical lagoon is blindingly bright, illuminating the victory. The calm water reflects the exhausted victors resting on the reeds, safe at last. They have reached paradise, but their personal journey ends here. They all mate, lay their eggs in the warm water, and fade away into the earth. Nature demands a price for survival. They pay it with their lives so the next generation can rise from the water and fly north again. The individual is dust. The migration is immortal.